I'll summarize 20 key principles to understand the world. Value, potentially a lifetime. Herostratic fame. Many people would rather be hated than unknown. In ancient Greece, Herostratus burned down the temple of Artemis purely so he'd be remembered. Now we have nuisance influencers who stream themselves committing crimes and harassing people purely for clout. Hotelling's Law, rival products, burgers, pop songs, political parties, tend to grow more alike over time because creators copy more successful rivals to replicate their success and steal their customers/audiences. Paradoxically, this increases the value of being different. Goodhearts Law. When a measure becomes a goal, it ceases to be a good measure. Since schools started to use test scores as targets, they've gradually stopped teaching kids how to live fulfilling lives, and now mainly teach them how to pass school tests. See Campbell's Law for more information. The reading recession. There is more text than ever, yet people are reading ever less and outsourcing writing to chatbots. This is dangerous because language is the basis of thought, and if you can't read or write well, you won't think well. Seagulls Law. A man with a watch knows what time it is. A man with two watches is never sure. Ancient societies followed a single narrative. Modern societies are cacophonies of competing narratives. Without trust, more data doesn't make us more informed, but more confused. Beginner's bubble effect. You cannot learn what you think you already know. Epictetus. The most ignorant are not those who know nothing, but those who know a little, because a little knowledge grants the illusion of understanding, which kills curiosity and closes the mind. Parkinson's Law. Work expands to fill the time allotted for it. No matter the size of the task, it often takes precisely the amount of time you set aside to do it, because more time means more deliberation and procrastination. Bentons Law of Controversy. We tend to fill gaps in information with emotion. We fear what we don't understand, love what we naively romanticize, etc. As such, the things that fire people up most are usually the things they understand least. Pareidolia. We see whatever we look for. Survival favored the paranoid, those able to discern a predator from the vaguest outline. From these survivors, we inherited hyperactive pattern detection, which once saved us from the lions, but now curses us to see them even in the sky. Safetyism. After US schools banned peanuts because some kids had allergies, more kids developed peanut allergies from lack of exposure. We're increasingly protecting kids from life, which only makes them more vulnerable to it. Too much safety is dangerous. Phonophobia. Wilson et al., 2014, found that people with nothing to do except think or give themselves an electric shock would often choose the shock. Many of us are so eager to avoid ourselves that we'd rather do something harmful than do nothing at all. Serial position effect. We tend to recall the beginnings, primacy effect, and endings, recency effect, of things better than the middles. So if you create anything with a beginning and ending, focus more effort there. Licensing. Believing you're good can make you behave bad. Those who consider themselves virtuous worry less about their own behavior, making them more susceptible to ethical lapses. A big cause of immorality is self-righteous morality. Preference falsification. If people are afraid to say what they really think, they will instead lie. Therefore, punishing speech, whether by taking offense or by threatening censorship, is ultimately a request to be deceived. Nutpicking. Online political debate mainly involves cherry-picking the most outlandish members of the enemy side and presenting them as indicative in order to make the entire side look crazy. The culture war is essentially just each side sneering at the other side's lunatics. Moral pollution. We act like bad reputations are contagious, and mere proximity to something labeled immoral is itself immoral. Brands cut ties with people deemed unethical, not because they value ethics, but because they fear contamination. Cancellation is moral quarantine. KISS principle. The design of everything is gradually being stripped down because simple is easy and safe. The less there is to offend or justify. But such rampant minimalism comes at a cost. Our cultures are losing their uniqueness and identity. Cosmic Schmuck Principle. There are two kinds of people in this world: those who sometimes worry that they're a moron and actual morons. In other words, the best way to be less of an idiot is to treat yourself like one. Cynical genius, illusion. Cynical people are seen as smarter, but sizable research suggests they actually tend to be dumber. Cynicism is not a sign of intelligence, but a substitute for it, a way to shield oneself from betrayal and disappointment without having to actually think. Generation effect. If you really want to understand a topic, don't read about it, write about it. The act of explaining something helps connect the dots and commit them to memory far better than the passive act of reading. In conclusion, these 20 mental models provide valuable insights into various aspects of life and society. They shed light on the human tendency to seek recognition and fame, the replication of successful ideas, the influence of measurement on goals, the decline in reading habits, the importance of trust and diverse narratives, the dangers of limited knowledge, the impact of time on productivity, the role of emotion in filling information gaps, the power of pattern detection, the consequences of excessive safety measures, the tendency to avoid self-reflection, the impact of beginnings and endings, the delusion of self-righteousness, the distortion of public discourse, the fear of moral contamination, the consequences of minimalism and sameness, the importance of self-awareness, the fallacy of cynicism, and the benefits of active learning. By understanding and applying these mental models, individuals can navigate the complexities of the world and make more informed decisions.